Dear Upasakas and Upasikas, all those who have gathered here and all those who are online, Lord Buddha, who appeared 2600 years ago, what all the things he taught were related to the mind, development of the mind, enjoying peace, freedom of the mind, releasing from bondages, the bondages of greed and hatred, anger and jealousy. And the biggest of all bondages is ignorance. We are caught up in ignorance and we are tied with ignorance. Ignorance is not knowing. Not knowing. Not knowing what? Not knowing about ourselves. Not knowing about our own being. We are made up of this body and mind, and we don't know what is body and what is mind. Isn't it? We consider body as some body. I am somebody. I am so and so. So many kinds of concepts. Are you really clear about that? Do you have clarity about that? If you inquire yourselves, oh, you will find you don't know. The confusions, the complications are there all the time. Sometimes we call our body as I, myself. Sometimes we call it as mine. Not I, the owner, but mine, the possessed, owned. Isn't it? So we don't know ourselves, what we are. So this is ignorance. This is ignorance. And about mind, the states of the mind, and about what we feel. Do you know about what is this pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling? Our life is driven by these feelings, pleasant and unpleasant, verbal action, mental action. So this is what makes life, body and mind, our feelings, our bodily, verbal and mental actions. That's all life is about. So understanding these very basic components correctly, that is wisdom. Not understanding them is ignorance. If we understand correctly, then we know how to handle it, how to manage our happiness and sufferings. If we don't handle it correctly, then we allow suffering to arise. We make our mind dissatisfied, unsatisfactoriness. That is what is happening all the time. And what all the complications we see outside with relationships, with fightings and with ownership and with wars, and all those are just because we don't understand. Not understanding, wrongly understanding, that is ignorance. So this is what Lord Buddha found out. This is the essence. Where exactly we are missing our good way, right way, happy way. We are slipping into ignorance, and because of ignorance to sufferings. This is the discovery of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha taught it for one and all, without any kind of discrimination. Pure compassion. Anybody could hear, anybody could listen, anybody could develop. All countries and communities and religions. In those days there were many groups without religion, atheistic or theistic or multi-theistic or non-theistic or unrelated, materialistic. There were, in one of the suttas, Lord Buddha lists what all the kinds of beliefs and practices were there in the time of the Buddha. 62 of them. 62 kinds of, different kinds of viewpoints and religious points. All kinds of things were there. So he was open to everybody. Come on. Do this investigation. Develop your mind. Mindfulness. To develop the mind, we need mindfulness. If we have mindfulness, then we know what is happening in the body, what is happening in the mind. If we have mindfulness, then we know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, what is negative, what is positive, what is worthy to keep in our mind and what is to be thrown out. Lot of rubbish we cherish in our hearts most of the times. Then we complain, oh, that fellow is the cause for my unhappiness, this fellow is the cause for my suffering, that fellow is really cause of problem. All the time blaming outside, but keeping inside so much of rubbish. It is like all the stinky rubbish is there in your house, in your room, and you are complaining outsiders, others, telling, oh, you bring the stink, you bring bad smell, this and that. But there is a lot of rotten, stinky stuff inside the room. So however much you blame others, however much the others manage outside, the problem still remains. Isn't it? So that is why this is a very important art of looking into ourselves deeply. That is the practice of mindfulness. So when we have mindfulness, then many things are clearly seen. When you see clearly, then you can manage well. That's all. Mindfulness itself is not the goal. Mindfulness is for the purpose of seeing with clarity and Seeing clarity itself is not the goal. When we see with clarity, we can let go. Because anyway they are passing away. Whether you let go or not, all the situations that come inside our heart, all the situations that come outside, they anyway pass away. If we hold on to them, then we create problems. So this is the teachings Lord Buddha gave to one and all, to lay people and to the monastic, everybody. There used to be great disciples. Even now there are disciples, even among the lay people. During Lord Buddha's time, there was one excellent Upasaka layman called Citta. Citta was such a devout householder who used to practice, and who used not only practice, but he used to teach others. So this Citta, his name Citta, because when he was born, it is said lot of flowers fell down, bringing like blessings, making people were so joyful. Oh, what happened? Such a beautiful thing is happening. What happened? So because it brought so much of joyful mind, they named him as Citta. Suchitta, good Citta, wholesome Citta. That is why he was called Citta. And this Citta, he had passed lot of merits from the past. He had made lot of paramis. He has fulfilled lot of paramis, the noble qualities, life after life, life after life. This is a very unique concept in Buddhism, that this is not the only life. There are many lives, and the spiritual practice goes on, developing the wholesome qualities of generosity, of morality, of giving, wisdom, patience, effort, truthfulness, determination, loving kindness, and equanimity. These noble qualities are called paramitas or paramis, those which take us to the other shore, those which help us to cross over paramis. So these paramis are fulfilled not just in one life. They need again and again and again. So this Citta had been fulfilling these paramis from the time of one earlier Buddha called Padumuttara Buddha. So that's why he was endowed. Now he was endowed with lot of merits, lot of wisdom. Even when he was born, it was like a great blessing. On the other hand, we have heard about Ajatashatru. You know, Ajatashatru, who was king of Magadha kingdom. When he was born, the swords, all the swords and weapons, they were shining, symbolizing danger. And later on, he killed his own father, and then he waged a lot of wars and like that. So whereas when Citta was born, lot of flowers fell all over and people were joyful. So now this Citta was very wise. He used to think about his actions and his deep realities of of body and mind. One time, the monks, he invited many monks to his house, and after listening to the Dhamma, he offered his own, he was very rich man, he offered his own grow as dana to the Sangha. He built a monastery, 500 kutis, and all the facilities for monks, and he used to offer dana very lavishly also. And once he invited many monks to his house, and when he invited, after the food, the lay people offer the food to the monks very devoutly. When monks are going on alms round, they put into the bowl, and then the monks go from house to house. Another way is to invite to the house and then make them to sit and offer the dana. So he offered himself with his own hands, and then after the food, he took the bowls and washed them and dried and gave back to the respective monks. So that kind of shraddha he had. And then afterwards, when the monks were all seated and everything was finished, then he asked, what is the meaning of elements? The diversity of elements. A very profound question about elements. The senior most monk, he asked. And the senior most monk, he knew it. He knew the answer, but he didn't tell. He just kept quiet. Second time he asked, what is this diversity of elements? How many kinds of elements are there? Again the senior most monk kept quiet. Third time he asked, the monk kept quiet. Then there was a junior most monk, very junior monk. You see, he thought, oh, now this Upasaka is asking the questions to the senior most Bhante, and the senior most Bhante is not answering. And this answer is known to all the monks, and even I also know. Let me go and request the senior Bhante and let me answer it. So he goes and he pays salutations to the senior Thera and tells, oh Bhante, if you allow me, then may I answer this question? Then that Bhante says, okay, you allow. Because that Bhante wanted to show that even though he is asking such a deep, profound question, there are all these monks here, and even the junior most monk is able to answer it, and that he has to understand that even the junior most monk is answering, and that this Upasaka should consider where he stands and should understand, listen to it with humility. So with that intention he had kept quiet. So when this junior most monk, there was another reason. This monk was called Isidatta. Then Isidatta Bhante, he said, oh Upasaka, you are asking about elements. You are asking about different elements. How many kinds of elements are there? Then he said, let me answer you. There is the element of I, element of I object, element of I consciousness. Element is that which is very, very basic, very fundamental in our life. Now, eyes are so fundamental. I object and I consciousness. These three things create the entire process of seeing. And eyes cannot hear, eyes cannot smell. These are elements, elements with their own intrinsic nature and characteristic, which have their own function. Eyes, eye object and eye consciousness. So very special. Then he said ear. We have ears and there is sound. There are sounds, sound object and ear consciousness. Only when all the three things come, we are able to hear. Otherwise we don't hear. There is this universe of eyes, universe of eye objects, universe of eye consciousness. But they have to come together. So also sound, the word of sound. So also the word of smell. The word of taste, tongue. Taste and tongue consciousness. Body, touch and body consciousness. Mind, mental object and mind consciousness. Now these 18, there are six senses, the corresponding sense objects and the corresponding consciousness. So these 18 elements are the ultimate things which cover the entire universe of matter, material world, entire universe of mental world. Everything comes under these 18 elements. So this is what that Bhante answered. Then this Citta questioned another very, very important question. He asked, from where the wrong viewpoints, these concepts arise. Very, very interesting question, no? Do you have viewpoints? Viewpoints are created every moment. With all our experiences, we create a viewpoint. We create a concept. Sometimes, if the viewpoint is correct according to reality, that is called samadhi. But if it is not according to reality, then it is called michhaditi. Most of the times, wrong views and the concepts. Because so his question was from where it arises. You see, when you see a thing with eyes, then what happens? You consider it as a permanent thing. That means your attention is wrong attention. The very basic attention, very basic understanding, seeing at it itself is in a wrong way, then the whole thing will flow into wrong view, wrong concept. But if the attention is a right one, Yoniso manasikara. You understand impermanent as impermanent. That which is changing as changing. According to reality. That which is subject to suffering as suffering. That which is essenceless as essenceless. Then your views will be correct. Otherwise, I, mine, your, this, that. Yeah, in conventional reality we need all those things. But in ultimate reality, these things don't exist. They pass away. They don't. I as a personality, the body, this material thing, every cell is changing, every atom is changing. It is a changing bundle. A bundle full of changing atoms. Mind also. It is changing chittas. So this changing, Lord Buddha calls them kalapas. These atoms, subatomic particles, arising, passing. But we don't see the body as body in its reality. We make body in a form of a personality. Yes, for conventional reason we need that to deal with our day-to-day business. We need that. But we take it as ultimate and react to that as ultimate. That is the problem. Isn't it? So, that is where wrong concepts start. If you know, according to reality, this is this, this is this, this is this. But now I take it for my conventional work. I have to deal with as a person, and I have to be give things or take things or deal everything. But ultimately, I know I am also changing bundle. That fellow is also changing bundle. There is no meaning in hating or holding on or attachment or resentment or all these things which arise with the concept of permanence. The more we understand impermanence, the more easily it is possible to let go. They are just as they are. Just they are. This is the suchness of the body. This is the suchness of the mind. That's all. So this question he puts, where exactly this wrong views start? It starts with wrong attention. Ayoniso manasikara. That which is impermanent we take as permanent. That which is subject to suffering as happiness. That which is essenceless, empty as I or you or mine or like that. And that is where wrong views start. And why this wrong view? It is so fast. Because no mindfulness. So this is what he told. And then this Citta, this wonderful Upasaka householder, he was so thrilled with this answer that he had these goosebumps, and then he saluted that young monk, Isidatta, and he said, "Oh, Bhante, where do you live?" And then he said, I come from Avanti, such and such place. And then Citta said, "Oh Bhante, why don't you stay in my vihara here?" He had built that vihara, no? "Please live here. It will be great honor for us to see you and listen to you." And then Bhante said, because he was excited because of his answers and his teaching, he didn't accept that invitation. He just said, oh, your vihara is very nice, be happy. Then Citta asked the monk Venerable Isidatta, oh Bhante, you are from Avanti. Do you know so and so, that person who is my friend, and he also lives in Avanti, and I heard that that my friend has become a monk. Have you heard about that person? Then Isidatta Bhante kept quiet. And then this Citta said, he doubted, Bhante, are you the one that is my friend? Then Isidatta Bhante said, yes, I am that person. And he was even more excited. Oh, you are my friend. I had missed you so many days. I could not even recognize you. And now you have reached so great things. And it is all the more now you must stay in my monastery. Then again he said, oh, your monastery is good. Be happy. Then you see that then all the monks went back, and when you see that the Bhante also went back, he thought now it is not right, not proper for him to stay here, because Citta Upasaka will give preference and like that over other monks. So let me go away. So he cleaned his room and everything, and then he left that town. He never came back again. So he had a lot of compassion for this Isidatta. So this Isidatta was such kind of wonderful Upasaka. There used to be Upasikas also like that. So at the time of death, he had become Anagami, a non-returner, a very high level. You see 4 levels of enlightenment: Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami and Arahant. So the 3rd level of enlightenment. And then at the time of death, he was sleeping peacefully, very peacefully. And then the Devatas came to pay worship to him. And they said, oh Citta, please come to this Devaloka, please come to this Devaloka. You are going to die. And then he was peacefully sleeping, and then he said, oh, please go away. He said, they told, you can live like a universal monarch, Chakravarti, in this Devaloka. And they were telling such things. So Citta, sleeping on this his deathbed, he said, oh, go away. Even to be a Chakravarti is impermanent, unstable. One has to leave that state also, that state and status. So the relatives and friends who were sitting around him, because he was about to die, they felt, oh, what is he telling? To be universal monarch also is impermanent. What is he telling? So they went and told, oh, respected Citta, are you in senses? Have you lost your sense or what? Why are you telling this? Even the universal monarch is impermanent. What happened to you? Please be mindful, oh respected Citta, like that the family members were telling. Then Citta smiled and said, I am fully in my senses. He is Anagami. So I am in full senses. So he said, I told to the Devas, not to you. They were telling me to come to this Devaloka, that Devaloka, and live like a universal monarch. So that is why I told them even that is impermanent. So he peacefully passed away with absolute mindfulness and compassion for all. So this is possible for all lay people to reach to such high level. This is the greatest gift of Lord Buddha, the Dhamma Dana. This Citta himself was like Anatha Pindika. Anatha Pindika was Sotapanna, whereas Citta was Anagami. Lord Buddha, when he announced about Etadagga, Etadagga means highest, Agra, highest, one and the only one, highest. The Lord Buddha has given 41 bhikkhus this highest title because of their achievement. 13 nuns, 10 upasakas, 10 upasikas. He has given Etadagga titles. So among upasakas, Lord Buddha said, among all the upasakas who is able to teach the Dhamma correctly and effectively, Citta Upasaka is the highest. he had that great honor from Lord Buddha. So my dears, we have this very, very beautiful opportunity to walk on the path of Dhamma. So today, one such Upasaka, Dr. Rajananda Murthy, in our times, he was able to do a lot of Dhamma work. So may all the merits and blessings of the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. In Sangha, all these noble ones are included, like Citta, the Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, they are all there. May all their blessings come to Dhammachari Rajananda Murthy, wherever he is born. May he get all the punya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.